My mom gave me some raw milk from a local dairy that had kind of gone by, but wasn't too bad yet. And to try for the chickens. So I brought it home, and first attempt to coax into it, they weren't really interested. But this last time, they're enjoying it. They're drinking it, and they're liking it. They like cheese. They like milk. Eggs are getting fertilized. We got some happy birds. I've been tied up all day. I couldn't really let them out till just a little while ago, but I figured I'd give them an hour or two before dark to come out and do some forage and give them a little milk, which they seem to be enjoying. Anyway, just a little clip of the chickens. Just thought I'd share. Thanks for watching the Farmacy Seeds Network. October 7th, 2016. And I know it looks like a bit of a mess right now, but that's because I had to pull everything out, kind of reorganize things in the greenhouse. And I've been busy doing that among a million other things. So, haven't had you in here in a while. Things are greening up nice. I put down some fresh compost tea ferts. I've been transplanting all kinds of stuff in before the big freeze, whenever that comes. And I even put in a bed in the ground this year. And I actually put some sweet corn in. Some fantastic sweet corn, 74-day to harvest. I figured I'd try it in the greenhouse. I figure with the temperatures we can keep good growing degree days and all that. I also put in some beans, and I think I stuck some beets between rows and a few other things. You can see corn coming up, just popping. It's been about 4 days. And you can see the anasazi beans coming up. Those also been about 4 days. Those are a vine bean. So my plan is to let them climb up the supportive trellis here. Strawberries are starting to perk up from their transplant. See new growth coming on them. They've also had the ferts. And I also went out and dug up my early glow strawberries that I had out in the ground. Brought them in. And none of these are really in their final resting place, so to speak. They're eventually going to go into the white piping, the 4-inch piping, and I'll probably set those up vertical along these support posts and other key spots where they won't block light, but where they'll get good light. Cucumbers and dill are up. Those are doing good. And potatoes in the bins, they're not up yet, but I expect they will be in another week or two. And I guess the main thing I really want to show you here is the new thermal mass tanks. I finally got these set up last night. Water was 54 degrees when I put it in. This morning I checked it after running the stove overnight, and it was at 62. And now they've had the sun all day, and they'll have the stove heat again tonight. And, in another week or so, I would say we should be up to a reasonable thermal mass level. You'll notice I have not hooked the coils up yet at all. I may or may not do that this year. We'll see. But you'll notice that I put the tanks almost right on top of the edge of the stove. There's only about an inch gap between the tank and the stove. On both these tanks, I have 2 tanks in here this year. And the plan is to dissipate a whole lot more heat into them. And the theory, at least, is that that should help me be able to stop my stoking process a little earlier, because typically I'm up till about 3 in the morning in the wintertime stoking, so that the greenhouse can stay warm through until sunrise at 7 or 8, and the sun actually gets in here and starts heating it up again. So that's the new setup. And no, it's not all that exciting. The Raspberry Pi is currently down. I'm going to be reworking that soon. We now have a hardwired cable coming in from the house. It's about 200-foot run, and so we'll eliminate all the wireless, both the RF radiation from the wireless in the greenhouse, which has a negative effect on plants and life in general, and also it'll give us a nice clean connection so that we don't have wireless disconnection issues like we had on and off last year, which vastly complicate diagnosis on any kind of computer or technical issue. So eventually the data logger will be back up, and we'll be logging temperatures of thermal masses, greenhouse air, outside air, humidities, all that wonderful stuff. Brought in a Nova Raspberry. I'm going to try and propagate that a little bit over the winter. And I transplanted my Black Logan raspberries into these pots, and try and propagate those over the winter as well. Other than that, I think that's it for now, and I don't know, stay tuned to see how things do this winter. Thanks for watching the Farmacy Seeds Network. Okay, just found this guy on a spring water jug. I thought he was a little toy or plaything, but he's real. I've never seen one of these before. But he moves when I touch him. I think he's a silkworm, but I've never seen their head look like that. Wild looking. Anyway. I figured I would get some video of him. He's like the Chucky of the worm world.